For this particular example, we will be calculating the descriptive statistics and use the information that we have to then construct a histogram in Excel. Now, the example that we are using is accessible through Blackboard in the in-class activities folder, and there's more information on how to access the data file and the Excel worksheet that we would need for this particular example. And again, that's in the video description for this particular video. Now, after you import the data into the Excel worksheet that has been provided, you're going to see that there are three columns, which is the temperature, the sex of the participants, and the heart rate of the participants. But for this particular example, the data that we're going to be using is just here in the temperature data. It is been divided based off the sex of the participants. So we are going to be concentrating just on the male participants first, and then you should be able to try it out in the same manner for the female participants. And all the temperature for the male and female participants is indicated in the first column. And particularly for the male participants, it's essentially all the temperature values for which the sex is equal to 1. And you should be able to scroll down over here, and it is the last value that actually shows that to us, I do believe, is over here in cell A73. So in order to calculate the descriptive statistics, we should be able to use Excel's built-in functions in order to do that. And over here, this particular area actually focuses on the descriptive statistics, which essentially gives us a snapshot of the essential details of the chunk of data that has been provided. Now, the first thing that it asks for us is the sample size, and Excel has a built-in function which is called count. So in order to use that function, what I'm going to do is first click on the cell in order to indicate where I want the value to be displayed. Go to the formula bar over here on the top, and then let's just go ahead and enter that formula. So I'm going to enter an equal sign. The name of the function that we're going to be using is count. And then I'm going to open up a parentheses and then tell Excel which range of values that I want Excel to count. Now, a simple way to do that is to start off just by selecting and then dragging all the way down to the last male participant over here in A73, and then closing up the parentheses and then hitting enter. You should be able to then see it's 65 for the total number of male participants for this particular survey. So let's just see that formula once again. So it's count A9 through A73. Now, one of the things that I have noticed over here, and you probably have already noticed yourself, is that if we have to classify what kind of referencing has taken place over here, is that it is a relative referencing. An absolute referencing would be with dollar signs. Now, I actually would encourage you to use absolute referencing in this particular example, just because we are going to be calculating different values with regards to whatever is given to us from A9 through A73. But it almost makes it easier if you want to copy the values in the calculation section to the output section just by making the references that we have over here absolute. So again, just in the simplest way to do that is just by placing dollar signs before the row number and the column number. And so you should now have something which looks like this. And pretty much we're going to be looking at this particular range of values from now on in order to calculate the rest of the descriptive statistics. The next thing that we're going to be calculating will be the minimum value, and it's pretty much as simple as what we've done before. And for the built-in function that we will be using, and for this case would be min. And then rather than actually clicking and then dragging and selecting the range of values that we would need, since we already know those range of values, we should just be able to go ahead and enter that as shown. And then you should be able to see this particular minimum value. Now let's also do that for the maximum value as well. Now for the range of values that we have over here, what we will do is we're just going to use the maximum and minimum values for that. So the range essentially is just equal to whatever we have in the maximum minus whatever we have in the minimum cell. So this would then give us the range of values, which is a 3.2. Now you should be able to use the same steps in order to calculate the median, the mode, the mean, and the standard deviation for the male participants by using the Excel functions that are shown next. Now we should be ready to then use this data to construct a histogram.